Hey everyone, Bit vs. Andy here, and welcome to my video all about fishing in Bit Heroes. In this video, I'm going to cover everything you need to know about fishing, including how to fish, what rewards you can get, what gear you can get, what are seashells, and more. So let's get started. First things first, for all of the major newbies out there, how to fish in Bit Heroes. So fishing is the only skill-based game mode that requires players to time their cast to get max distance. So if I hit play on fishing here, you got to time this bar here. I'm going to get a perfect cast. Check me out. Ooh, okay. Pretend that was perfect. And then you also have to time when you pull the fish up. And getting your timing right means you actually catch the fish. This is the percent chance that you'll catch it. So you want to wait for it to hit that green for you to get a 100% chance. Yep, and there we go. A sardine. Let's go. So that is how you actually do the fishing. But some newbies might not even know how to get to fishing. Now, one of the best parts of fishing is the elusive vacation spot getaway to the amazing destination that is known as Fishing Island.
Welcome to the sun-drenched tropical paradise of
Fishing Island.
We're so pleased to welcome you to our beautiful home. Come enjoy a natural wonderland to which we've added the world's finest resort facilities, a spectacular amusement park, and succulent seafood. All this and more await you on
Fishing Island.
Come relax and let us refresh your body and spirit.
So, Fishing Island is the only area right now in game where players can go to fish and, of course, relax. So to access Fishing Island, you have to complete Tier 2. So you have to be at least a Tier 3 Andy. So you must have beaten Wintermarsh and have access to Lake Haven, which is pretty easy. You should be able to get that done. And to get to Fishing Island, so this is how you get off Fishing Island. You just click fishing, hit exit. But to get to Fishing Island, you simply hit fishing and hit play. Or if you're an absolute Chad, you run down to the dock and click on the boat. Way better. And it will boost your RNG. Not actually, I wish. Now, there's a few Easter eggs on the island, certain cool things you can find, like the whale over here. And actually, literally, there are Easter eggs here right now because it's during the Easter egg hunt event. But one thing I want to point out, because it will be relevant later, is right here where it says, "Are these fish bones?" Oh no. And you can see like a corpse has washed up on shore. And take note of that mask and that hat. This is somebody known as Seth, who we'll talk about a little bit later in the video. So, of course, why do people fish? And one of the main reasons to fish in Bit Heroes is for fun. Oh, wait, I misread that part. It's for the rewards. So there's really 3 to 4 types of rewards to aim for. So if you come into the fishing events and you click on the rewards, you can see based on where you rank on the leaderboard, you'll get a certain amount of, this time it's brain stems, shells, and gems, but it can be other things like regulators. Now, gems are really good, brain stems are good. Seashells are for fishing, but you can get certain things that are good with them, so those are good as well. Now, to rank higher, you have to get a heavier fish, which, you got to catch a big one. And then also, we can look at the points rewards, and this is much more consistent. Don't look at my points. They're pretty low right now, but I'll get it up. So basically, every fish you catch gives you a certain amount of points. The rarer and bigger the fish, the more points. And you can get rewards going all the way up to 1,000 points, where you get 40 brain stems, 20 gems, and 20,000 gold. Nothing insane, but gems add up, gold adds up, and you're going to need brain stems for rerolling neuron stimulators. So all good stuff, all really helpful in progressing. Now, the other couple of rewards you can get are seashells, as well as the elusive Seth cosmetics. So I'm going to go ahead and pull up the Bit Heroes wiki here, and I'm just on the fishing page. And there's a lot of good stuff here. I would recommend you check this out. So when I say seashells, you can see here seashells drop from any fish that you catch. You know, it's a range. So if I catch a clownfish, I'll get between 25 and 35 seashells. So that's one of the rewards. And we will go over what those are used for. We'll also dive in a little bit further on this table. But I also want to show you guys the cosmetics that you can get. They're very rare. You need to catch 10 of these mysterious bones, which only have a chance to drop when you catch a legendary or mythic fish. So only when you're catching one of these bottom 4 fish, which is pretty rare, but it's really nice when you get those. And then it's extra nice when you get these because you can get these these are rare because not many people fish a lot. And so to get 10 of these, you need to catch, a handful of these legendary and mythic fish, which are rare. And then you can get, it kind of shows it off here, that mask, as well as that hat and that robe, I guess. But that was Seth, who we saw earlier, washed up on the beach. Okay, so that's pretty much all of the drops you can get. So you can get leaderboard rewards, points rewards, you can get Seth's cosmetics and seashells. Now we're going to dive into the drops here and what fish can you catch. So here we can start at the top, and it does show the mysterious bones, which we just talked about. You have a chance of getting these when you catch a legendary or a mythic. Then we have the trash section. You do not want to be catching these, but unfortunately you will catch them. When you cast, you have no way of knowing what it's going to be until you catch it, until you start to recognize the fish's patterns. So these are worth 0 weight. They do not put you on the leaderboard, and they give 1 to 3 shells. Come down to common, you can catch a common between 1 and 6 kilograms, and they can give you from 8 to 12 shells. Rares come from 4 to 9 kilograms, and you can get 25 to 35 shells. Now we get down to epics, which can be anywhere from 7 to 12 kilograms. And this 12 is pretty significant because if you get a 12 kilogram pufferfish, you're getting bigger than some of these legendaries at that point, which is pretty juicy. Now, also catching an epic gives you 80 to 100 seashells. And then legendary, you can get from 10 to 15 kilograms, getting yourself anywhere from 235 to 290 shells. And then finally, the single and only mythic fish. This is actually the only fish I have never caught, is the elusive unicorn fish. 13 to 16 kilograms, a guaranteed 916 to 1,000 shells. Now, this unicorn fish is an absolute beauty. That's actually kind of cursed. But this is really any angler's dream catch right here. And if I ever get it, I'm going to be hyped. So last thing to note on this table is it does show the catch timer. As you can see, the more rare the fish, the harder or the less time you have to catch it. And it literally counts down 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8. So this mythic, you only have 8 seconds to catch it. And also this catch bar width is the smallest catch bar. So it's actually the hardest thing to catch. It's actually the rarest thing to even have a chance to catch, but it is amazing. So earlier I said actually that you can't tell what fish you're going to catch without memorizing the patterns. And one of those patterns you should look for, you're not going to be able to recognize the catch bar width pixel by pixel unless you have eagle eye vision. But one thing you can recognize is the catch timer. So if you see it between 18 and 20 seconds, you got a common. 15 to 17 seconds, you got a rare. 12 to 14 seconds, you got an epic. And 11 to 9 seconds, you got a legendary. So if you ever see the timer under 11, you're going to want to make sure you catch that fish because you're going to get hundreds of shells and potentially a leaderboard winner. So really good there. And of course, if you see the 8 seconds, you better go sweat mode. That's for sure. So I want to talk a little bit about fishing gear, because gear is an important factor in fishing as it can greatly affect your chances of catching rare fish. There's really 2 to 3 types of gear to consider, and that's if you call bait a gear. But the first one is your fishing rod, second one is your fishing bobber, and lastly is your fishing bait. And as you use better gear in these slots, fishing becomes more efficient. You get more shells and more points faster while you're having an easier time catching heavier and more rare fish, which places you higher on the leaderboard. So just starting out looking at fishing rods, if I open up the shop, open up fishing and go to shop, we can see all the fishing rods on the left there, as well as the cosmetics at bottom, but we can ignore those. So the default, you start with the default one that's gray, not even green, and that gives you +0 for both of these spots. But if we just focus on the fishing rod, fishing rods will increase your fishing distance, basically the max distance that you can cast your rod. So it starts at 40, and with plus 10%, you'll be able to send it to 44 as your max cast. It's a little bit hazy as to what fishing distance does. However, after digging super deep on the Bitverse Discord, and I gotta give a shout out to Jobu for finding this on the Discord, we found this post from Max Brand that mentions from L about fishing cast distance, who says, from L on fishing cast distance, the loot table distribution is based on distance. Longer/further, so further distance, is better, increasing the chance at heavier fish and better rewards from that fish. So if we look back at the table and we just compare, light fish 1 to 4 versus heavy fish 13 to 16, I believe it just weights the odds more towards the bottom, if that makes sense. So it doesn't guarantee that you won't get any of these. I think it just betters your odds of getting a heavier fish, which the rarer the fish, the heavier the fish. So it's beneficial. So as far as we know, the further the cast distance, the better chance at a heavier fish that will give more seashells. So it's good. Now the fishing bobbers will increase the catch meter size, basically the width of that green zone, or all the other zones, yellow and red too. But the width of that green 100% catch rate zone will get a little bit wider, making it a little bit easier to catch. Now, actually, from that same Discord message, shout out to Jobu again, and this comes from Max Brand, we have this amazing visual that shows the width of the catch bar with each bobber. As you can see, as the rarity goes up, we can see the bar get a bit wider, making things easier to catch. And last but not least, we have fish bait. So here's all the fish baits. As you can see, the common gives plus nothing. The rare gives plus 50% fish find. Epic 100% fish find. And legendary plus 250% fish find. Now there is also an option in the shop for you to buy the mythic bait that gives plus 500%, but it costs 5,000 seashells, and I don't think buying bait is going to be profitable in terms of seashells. So, but basically what the fish find does for you is it's really similar to item find. Basically, the rarer the bait and the higher the fish find bonus, they will just increase your odds of catching a better/rarer fish. Now, how to get bait, and you see that I have thousands of baits. I'm guilty of not fishing every day, trying to get better at that. But every single day when you log in, if you come to Fishing Island, it will give you some free bait for the day. So and that's like the main source. So make sure you're logging in every single day to get your fishing bait onto the Fishing Island. So we've been hyping up fishing and catching these fish. They get you seashells. So far I've showed you can spend seashells on better equipment and getting more bait. But really, after you get the best rod and bobber, that's when fishing, in my opinion, will be the most efficient and will really start to pay off. If we come into consumables, you can see, you can get average item find, gold, XP, speed kicks, and usually you have to spend gems to get these. You can only get the common ones for gold. So this is another way to get these bigger boosts. These give plus 50%. and it doesn't cost you gems. So really nice there. Now, something I think might even be better than that is if you come down here, you can see energy and tickets are available. I mean, tickets are really nice to buy. Energy can be okay, but definitely a way to save on gems by buying it here. Now, we can also come into other, and we see, personally, my favorite things to buy: the rune fragments, the ancient fragments, and the mount guts. These are materials that are really hard to grind for, but fishing is a way. Now, fishing takes a long time to get 1500 shells, I'm not going to lie to you, but having a way to just one more source of these could be the difference long term in you getting a mythic, this year or next year. Like, mythics take so many materials to get fully upgraded and crafted, and this can be just another source of guts, rune fragments, and ancient fragments for you. And if you're max level with everything, you can get stat points. So, I mean, it's never bad to fish because you can just get stat points, which are OP. So that's a little bit about the shop. There's also some cosmetics, which I glanced over. A couple years ago, I made the bad decision to buy this boat cosmetic. So that's why I'm wearing it today. I wouldn't recommend doing this until you have maxed out fishing gear, but whatever. So a few tips and tricks now for how to become the best fisher in the Bitverse. So when you look at the events and the rewards, you really want to hit this 1000 points every 2 weeks. So you can see the event ends in 3 days. Most events last 1 week, but fishing goes for 2 weeks. So you have twice as long. You want to hit this 1000 points so you can get the maximum rewards from this rewards table. Now, as you're hitting 1000 points, you'll hopefully catch one of the big ones, and you'll hopefully land pretty high on the fishing leaderboard, landing you some juicy rewards if you get, number one is probably taken by somebody who got lucky enough to get a unicorn fish, but you might get lucky enough to get top 500 or whatever. Going hand in hand in that, if you do not want to get 1000 points and you hate fishing, which is understandable, just catch one single fish, okay? Even if you just catch one fish and it's really bad, you'll at least land somewhere on the leaderboard. Maybe you'll land in the top 2000 like I'm sitting in here, and you'll get 30 gems for it, 750 shells, and 80 brain stems. Like, for 2 seconds, just catching one fish, that's worth it. So at least even if you hate fishing in Bit Heroes, just catch one fish every 2 weeks, all right? So if you want to catch the best and rarest fish, you want to work your way up, go from common all the way up to mythic for the bobber and the rod. Now, these are super expensive. And then once you get there, you might want to consider using, better bait. And if you're still having trouble catching rare fish, then because fishing is skill-based, you actually can kind of get good in fishing in Bit Heroes. Practice sort of makes perfect. If you're doing your daily fishing eventually you'll start to get the timing down and you'll be hitting max distance casts all day. You'll also begin to start memorizing some of these fishes' patterns, like they'll dodge left or they'll dodge right, or they'll dodge left twice and then they'll dodge right. And as you memorize them, you'll have a much better chance of landing the catch. So ultimately, with a bit of effort, you can end up getting those higher leaderboard spots, higher points, more shells, which means more stuff that you can buy from the fishing shop, and the cycle just continues from there. So that's pretty much all for this video. I hope you found something in this video helpful or at least funny. And I hope that this inspires you to try fishing more in the game. Remember, fishing is the only skill-based game mode in Bit Heroes. So it is actually super important that you become a fishing legend to show off your gamer abilities. Last reminder, just don't forget to visit Fishing Island every day for your bait, and best of luck catching the biggest and rarest fish out there. Thank you so much for watching. I'll catch you in the next one, and until then, good luck on your grind.